Good morning, everyone. That's for all the people who are in here. Actually, I don't think there's anyone in here. Oh, it looks like there may be 16 people in here. 16 waiting. Thought we'd start off with a bit of a morning look at the fish. You might want to turn that down, Bianca. You've just muted me. Sweet. So, how's it going, everyone? The chat should be open, so feel free to say good morning if you're popping along to have a gander. So I thought we'd start off just with a bit of a gander at the fish until we get a few more people pop in. I'm using Streamline. Lots waiting, yes. Hey, how's it going, GST? Aussie Sora, how's it going, folks? Thought we'd start off with a bit of a morning gander at the fish. Sorry for the little flare out in the screen too. I haven't gotten around to getting the screen fixed yet. Good morning, folks. How's it going? G'day, even Barbados. Also too, a huge thanks to Janderra and Bianca for being mods this morning. So thank you very much, folks. I think we've got more than enough people in now. Can't see any more than 42 coming in. So they're the Jades anyway. They haven't been fed this morning. And hopefully they'll keep feeding for a little while longer. We do have a heater down in the tank at the moment. You can probably see it down in there. A little 500 watt jobby. It's just keeping the fish warm overnight. G'day, Mike. We're doing fine. Thank you, mate. They're yours? Matchsticks. Oh, that's right. Mike's over in the UK. Morning, Bomber Steve. Yeah, sorry. The heater. The heater's in there just pretty much all overnight just to keep the water temps up. Just quickly too, in my phone, the quality's looking absolutely schmicko. I'm not too sure what is coming out on your end. I did a bit of a test yesterday, and the YouTube live broadcasting looked to do a little bit better than this live streaming service I'm using. So we'll just play around with this one in the next few live streams and see which one works best. On to giving a bit of a look at the system. Hopefully, you could sort of make out what I did in the last stream. I cleaned a whole heap of bits and pieces out. Just broccoli that was going to flower over, not going to flower over there, being smashed by the caterpillars and whatnot, the grubs. It's been taken out. The lettuce that was seeding over here, and I've planted out a load of seedlings from a mate, Mark. Thank you very much, mate. Also, John and Anita gave us some onions, and they've gone in. Thank you, folks. But what we're going to be looking at this morning is some garlic. This is some leftover garlic from the Vegepod. I planted out down the back there. So, yeah, just leftover bits. They were a little bit smaller than the other ones, so I thought I'd have a crack at a couple in the aquaponics. I already planted a couple out the other week. These two little fellas down there, they've already shot. They went in pretty much all the same time as the Vegepod ones, and I had them over there. And because this is the Lecky clay, the light expander clay balls, it was easy enough to dig them out and just move them on this side over here so they'll get a little bit more sun. Because I dare say these broccoli that we've planted out will pretty much take over the bed and shade everything out. G'day, Leslie and David. Bringstar. Do I harvest the fish often? No, we pretty much will do ours in batches. Once they come up to around about 500 grams or over, we'll pretty much grab them out. Every now and then. We don't like to do them in big batches, mainly because that decreases the nutrients in the system. But I have done it that way in the past. But these lot here, over here, they'll be coming out piecemeal, just as we feel like a fishy fry up. But onto the garlic. Back onto the garlic. What I've decided to do is grab some of the larger cloves and just pop them along the front here. I will answer questions a little bit later. I just want to knock off this first because that's what the title of the video is. And then if there's some time left, we'll go through a couple of questions. So yeah, these garlic here, what I'm going to be looking for is the largest ones. And they won't be the seed garlic because the seed garlic we got this year for the Glen Large is a little bit smaller than we used to. So what I thought I'd do is plan out half a dozen of these larger variety. 4, 5, I dare say, yeah, we'll go that one there, hey? And we'll pop them in. Now, garlic does grow in aquaponics. We've grown it successfully before. I was looking for some photos this morning to give you a bit of a gander at a decent Glen Large harvest we had a couple of years ago, but I couldn't find them. All I could find, if I can work out how to use this, is some of the, where are my pictures? Here we go. Some of the garlic that was harvested a couple of years back. It was pretty much all, excuse me guys, I just got to get rid of a banner here. I've got a banner on my thing. Yeah, this is some garlic that we harvested a couple of years back. It was just left in the system a little bit too long. So what happened was those individual bulbs started to shoot. It's just something that happens in our weather here a fair bit. I've had people tell me there's all different reasons why it goes to, it shoots like this, but yeah, the only reason I can really see is just if we have a warm tail end of winter, start of spring, we tend to get the individual cloves shooting. So turn that off. I've lost half my screen because the browser heading has come down and I can't see exactly what I'm doing. So hopefully you guys can. So this garlic here in the aquaponics, it's pretty easy, the same as soil. All I'm going to do is just push it down, probably round about, put some shade over there, probably round about 30 mil or about 1.25 inches, just so the base of the garlic hits the wet zone. And when I mean base, I mean this end here. This is the bit that you break the clove off the bulb. Plant that down because that's the bit that's going to send down the roots. You don't have to. You can lay them sideways like that, plant them out like that. You can even plant them out like that if you want, because the green spear, 9 times out of 10, will wrap around and grow up. But yeah, I just don't want to risk it. I'd rather have them grow up the right way to begin with. So just popping these all along the edge here and put some down here in the oregano or oregano or however you want to say it. I don't have a very good Italian accent, so yeah, just down in there. And that's as easy as it is. And like I said, you will have them tend to grow fine in the aquaponics as long as they're not sitting in water the whole time. And yeah, if this does happen where you see the cloves split like that and they start to shoot again, I mean, the garlic's perfectly fine. You can just come out and pull out the bulb and use it whenever you want, or you can do like we're doing up on the deck and just grow a whole heap just for the greens, chop them off and add them into stir fries. So yeah, there you go. A little bit of a look at planting the garlic out in the aquaponics. Now, we might get back to answering some questions. Is there any questions, Bianca? Does anyone have any questions? G'day, Will. It was great chatting to you yesterday, and you too, Janderra, in the hangout. Yeah, we have a supporters hangout on the last Sunday of every month, folks, just for you folks who are wondering what that is. Yours grow very aggressively. Is that in the aquaponics, mate, or just in the soil patch? Will you try a hybrid tomato and potato? No, I'm sorry, I won't do that. I'm not really big on grafting. I could have a crack, I suppose. But yeah, I don't really think it's something I want to do. Kenzie, how's it going, mate? Is eggplant in aquaponics poisonous to the fish? No, mate, we've got it growing here. Got a load of flowers coming on it. I tried to show this yesterday or the other day when I did a hangout. I don't know how well it came through. We've actually got ladybug or lady beetle larvae pupating on there at the moment. It is a member of the nightshade family. And just like tomatoes and capsicums and peppers or chilies, whatever you want to call them, no hassle with it being toxic to the fish at all. Yeah, so grow as many eggplants as you want. One thing I would recommend, though, is trying to rotate them, because if they do get rather large, root system gets really big, it can prevent water flowing through the bed correctly. So just one little thing we've found in the past, like a lot of plants that grow for a long amount of time, they put on a lot of root mass, and yeah. So I hope that helps you, mate. You're using to supplement, what am I using for K? K is potassium. I'm using a seaweed product at the moment, but I'm also adding potassium bicarbonate in. So the potassium bicarbonate takes a fair while to be broken down by the acid in the water. So it basically keeps your alkalinity and your pH up for a while. Hydroxide's the one we typically use. It's a calcium hydroxide, just on pH quickly. But it doesn't actually buffer your pH at all. It just raises the pH. It doesn't add alkalinity to the system, whereas a carbonate or a bicarbonate will. The other potassium, actually, I can show you. I have, just excuse me, flashing the camera around everywhere, guys. I have, sorry? Pardon? Oh, I've got a bunch of questions. Okay, I'll try and knock this off quick. If you're in Australia, mate, if I can find... No, I don't have any. Well, it's eco seaweed anyway in Australia, but at the moment I'm using some kelp that was sent to me via some lovely folks over in the States. I'm not going to say their name because I think I've mixed it up, but I'll put that in the show notes down below. Yeah, it's just a seaweed supplement. I wouldn't add, you know, bucketfuls of it, just a little bit every now and then. I did read a post the other day about someone noticing elevated arsenic, I think it was you, Steve, in commercial systems when they use a lot of the kelp powder, because there is arsenic in seaweed. And I think he was talking mainly about commercial cannabis growing. But then anyway, yeah, it can be something that's a little bit dodgy. Bianca, do you want to read out the first one? Spacing between bulbs. Mike, spacing between bulbs for the aquaponics, pretty much all the same as the soil garden, just because you want space for them to move. So what's that? Probably about 10 to 15 centimeters, so 4 to 6 inches spacing. Mainly because these garlic, when we bought them, were a rather large one. If you're using smaller bulbs of garlic, you could probably space them a little bit closer. Just quickly about spacing in aquaponics. You can I have found that I can overcrowd things in aquaponics a little bit, plant them a little bit closer, because it's not like a soil garden where they're competing for moisture or nutrients. The nutrients are flowing past the roots all the time. The only time you can get issues is if you plant too close. You can have pest problems, too many aphids that you can't see, that sort of thing. Maybe a little bit of a fungal issue with bad airflow. But yeah, spacing in aquaponics, from what I've seen, you can grow things a little bit closer. Yes, Bianca? Those cloves I just planted out, Will, they were store-bought garlic. Sorry if you can't hear Bianca, folks. We'll ask about planting out store-bought garlic. Those large cloves I just planted out there I got from Coles, and they're a large purple one that looked very similar to the Glen Large. The Glen Large we bought as seed garlic has lost its purple tint or tinge to the skins and has been very small, and these ones were a lot larger. I mean, for all I know, they could be a Tasmanian variety and not grow very well here. But yeah, I've just thrown them in to see how they go. One thing I would suggest, as I mentioned in the garlic planting video a couple of weeks back, if you are using garlic from an unknown origin, put it in a eco-fungicide style solution with your kelp. Just let it soak there overnight, helps root development. And eco-fungicide or potassium bicarbonate, same stuff I had in here is what I used. It raises the pH and kills any fungus off. So just a bit of a tip there. Yes, Bianca, next. Yep. Will I try hybrid tomatoes or potatoes? I think I've already answered that one. No, I'm not going to try the grafting the potatoes onto the, tomato onto potato. Definitely not in aquaponics. Yeah, I haven't really done a lot of grafting. Might be something I try down the line, but yeah, it's not really high on my list. No, the yield. So I was asked about the yield between the aquaponics and the Vegepod. In the past, the garlic in the aquaponics has grown full size like everything else, grown anywhere else. The only issue I did have was with that 1 year with them shooting early, but otherwise, yeah, I haven't really noticed a difference. Most plants like the greens tend to grow faster in the aquaponics. Yeah, but with the garlic, it pretty much all grows until the bulb is large enough and dies back here in our climate. So yeah, it has a finite life cycle, is my understanding, with most garlic varieties. Do I need to stake up the eggplant, and how do I control aphids? I don't stake up this eggplant. I just chop off the branches as they get a little bit too large, hang out the side. They tend to crack anyway. They're fairly brittle. But as you can see by the amount of flowers on here, there's no fruit at the moment because I gave it a bit of a trim back a little while ago. Actually, I think there's one or two small fruit down in there. Yeah, no real hassle with it needing to be staked up as long as you keep it bushy. I mean, you don't really want a monster in here. Like that thing was the other week. Yeah, try and keep them nice and compact if you can, because the higher value crops will always be your greens in aquaponics. They'll always grow through faster. Learn to breathe, Robert. Yeah, so what I'm thinking of doing is actually taking this eggplant out and that tomato over there, which is a self-sown, and freeing up some more bed space for greens down the line. Aphids, well, these little fella, the ladybugs, they'll pretty much will look after them. I was hoping I'd see a couple of larvae running around so I could show you. But for spray wise, I think I've shown in a recent clip, I did a pest control and aquaponics clip. I'll put that link down below as well. Yeah, crush with fingers if it's a small little infestation. Otherwise, you can hit them with a jet of water, and because they're a soft shell insect, it pretty much all crushes them. Soapy water spray is another thing I've used. Diatomaceous earth is something that other people have used, food grade only, of course. But yeah, pretty much all just crushing them and encouraging these little fellas to come in and take care of them is pretty much all the best recommendation I can give. I always let some plants get a little bit aphid ridden, and that way it encourages these guys to come through. Another tip, I just saw one running around here. There, I don't know if you can see him down there, you might have missed him. Ants will actually farm aphids. They'll bring them into the system because they harvest the honeydew, which is basically the excretion they make. It's a sweet, a very sweet excretion, and they take that back to the nest, so the ants will protect the aphids. So if you can keep ants out of your grow beds by either flooding them regularly if they've got a nest in there, or I don't know, you could try rubbing some sort of grease around the stands to stop them coming up. That is a big help at trying to keep the aphid population down. Next, Bianca. Is our source water hard? Not overly hard. I think I did a clip a couple of years back with the old system looking at the hardness of the water, but then again, it does, from my understanding, it depends on how it's being tested at the water purification plant as to what additives they put in. I have been told that after flooding events and large rain events, the water does become a little bit harder because they add in more additives. But yeah, it's about so-so at the moment. I couldn't tell you what it is on the scale because I haven't, in all honesty, tested it for a while because some bugger stole all our testing equipment while we were renovating, and I've never bought a new one. Hope that helps. I'm going to have to wrap up in a couple of minutes, mate, or people, everyone, because Bianca's got a prior appointment. Sorry? How to deal with a storm. Oh, okay, excess water coming into the system. I like to leave a large, someone's asked, how do I deal with the storm? So I take it extra water coming into the system. You can probably see the level of the algae over on that side wall over there. Through some of that's pretty much all the level I like to leave the water at. Just in case we do have a large rain event, I've got that freeboard in there for the water to take up. The other week we had, a couple of weeks worth of really good rain. So what I ended up doing was just coming along to the grow beds here as I saw the system was overflowing, pulling out the bell and leaving them all as constant floods. The one downfall to that is, thank you very much, Mr. Rob. Thanks for coming along. Yeah, one of my favorite YouTubers, Bigelow Book Farm, Rob, go check out his aquaponics. Yeah, anyway, we had a lot of rain and I pulled out the bells, and that way the beds all filled up with water for extra water storage capacity. The only problem was I ended up with, rotting out all the carrots over here because the roots were sitting in water the whole time, and this is the harvest that I got from them. I got one there, Will, that's the one that turned around 360 and started to grow downwards again. And yeah, all the really large ones, I didn't load a photo, sorry folks, but yeah, they got rotten fairly quickly. I might just give you a bit of a look at our chili bush over here. It got really suffered in the rain as well. We had a couple of storms associated with the rain, and we ended up having to take off a number of branches and tying it to a metal post to keep it upright. Obviously, the clay isn't really structurally sound for roots to grab onto, so the plant does tend to fall down a bit when it's over 4 foot high. And we did get a nice harvest of chilies from them, though. We got a load of green as well as a couple of ripe ones, and we gave most of them to a mate who's really good at making chili sauce, which I hope to sample today. So yeah, there you go, Mark. Hope you're watching. So yeah, it wasn't a total loss. We got to make a little bit of a yield out of it, but I have cut it right back. I've only got a couple of ripe ones on there at the moment, but we also have another one of these RG Amarillos down the back, growing in a root pouch. Strangely enough, yeah, not growing as prolifically fruit-wise as these guys, but they're not being hit by the fruit fly. I think that's more because they're camouflaged more than anything to do with growing better in soil. Any other quick ones, Bianca? Sorry, babe. There's a lot going on at the moment. Oh, okay, not a problem. Using blood, I've actually seen that come up. Abattoir worker, I think it was a forum ages ago, adding blood into a system. I don't know. It's full of nutrients. Yeah, may sound funny, but I have heard of it. A lot of people ask if you can put nails in there, and nails will add iron to the system as they corrode. Unfortunately, that's iron oxide. It's not in a plant available form, so you're better off looking for an iron chelate. DTP8 is a fairly broad spectrum one pH-wise, because pH affects the uptake of nutrients. So that's what I pretty much will recommend everyone use. So hope that helps. How long does a system take to cycle? I just saw that one. Here, I think this one here took a matter of weeks because we used clay from an older system. Generally speaking, though, here in the subtropics, anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks. I have heard of people in Canada that it's taken months to cycle just because it's so cool up there, and you don't have the number of the bacteria. The bacteria numbers aren't as high, and they also prefer a slightly warmer temperature than freezing to reproduce and, yeah, proliferate the system. I think I might leave it there, folks. If you do have any questions that I didn't get to in this chat, can you please pop over to the video once it's published and made public and ask them there. And as always, I get through to all your comments and whatnot. Just quickly, thank you everyone who gave me a super chat in the last one. I really do appreciate it. And yes, I will be able to buy some beard wax with it. Thank you very much, folks. And the other thing, someone asked me how they can support the channel. Well, as long as you watch the videos, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment and share them around. I'm more than happy with that. Not only that, I do have an Amazon link for you folks who already shop on Amazon. I don't expect everyone to run over there and use my link. The link is down in the description. So you can click on that, and anything you purchase from that link, I will receive a commission on. Other than that, yeah, just like, share, and leave comments on the clips, and yeah, that keeps me pretty happy. I would like to just give a huge shout out to Bianca over there. Hello, Bianca. Thank you very much, sweetie. And also to Gerowyn for helping with the moderations. I really do appreciate it. She lives just west of us, is a supporter. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate you and the family helping us out. And I will leave it there. Hope you guys are all well and happy and have a top weekend. Cheers, folks. Take it easy.